Welcome back, everybody, for another Mech Deck Tech. Today we're going over Prosper Tome-Bound. So this is another pre-con upgrade sort of guide, or at least a guide in the way that I've put mine together. Prosper is great, right? So he gives us pseudo card draw in the form of exiling the top card of a deck at the end step of every turn, and he gives us ramp in the form of treasure for playing those cards that we exiled. Playing super important. It's not casting. This allows us to gain treasures off playing lands that he exiles as well. So our main strategy here is to go hard into this strategy, straight to Value Town. We're looking to see more of our deck and ramp fast with treasures to play big spells. As always, we have our facilitators. We've broken it up into a couple categories this time to make it easy. We're not going to go over each card by themselves, we're going to kind of group them together. Keep things moving. Let's start off with our creatures here. We have Atali, Primal Storm, Lelia, the Blade Reforged, Urabrask, Heretic Praetor, and Wild Magic Sorcerer. In addition to those creatures, we have a modal creature, where it's a creature on the front and a planeswalker on the back. The Planeswalker is the card we actually care about, and it's Tibalt Cosmic Imposter. All of these cards are going to let us exile cards pretty much every turn, allowing us to dig through our deck faster, to find our finishers, and of course, gain treasures for playing these cards from exile. Moving on to our instants and sorceries, we have Apex of Power, Fervored Suspicion, Galvanic Relay, Ignite the Future, Just 'Cause Will, Light Up the Stage, Throes of Chaos, Commune with Lava, and Tainted Pack. All of these are more or less single-use. A couple of them have flashback, but they're going to let us, again, exile more cards from the top of our deck, allowing us to play them. You know, playing more spells, ramping faster, looking through more of our deck. And casting any of the spells we do here is also going to help power up Lelia. Let's move on to our artifacts and enchantments here. Starting us off, we have Geist Flame Reservoir, Sensei's Divining Top, Furious Rise, and our finisher for the deck, or at least one of them, Passionate Archaeologist. These are all repeatable sources of exiling cards, and in the case of Passionate Archaeologist, dealing damage for casting all of our spells from exile as long as we have Prosper out. In the case of Sensei's Divining Top, we're controlling the top of our deck so that we're exiling the card that we know we could play the following turn. There's more than one way to skin a cat, and there's more than one way to exile a card. We have a number of Madness, Adventures, and cards that just suspend themselves in this deck, which are going to further the strategy, no setup required. We have Foulmire Knight and Profane Insight, Stormkirk Occultist, Call to the Netherworld, From Under the Floorboards, Wheel of Fate, Rousing Refrain, Profane Tutor, all of these get to be, like I said, set up to be cast from exile with no additional cards required. We don't need any of our facilitators, and we don't need our commander to get them into exile to cast them in the future. What my other deck techs were lacking are the 3 R's: removal, responses, and ramp. We don't see a lot of responses in Red and Black, but we do see a ton of removal, and our ramp in this particular deck is focused on the treasure mechanic. Let's go over removal real quick, and we'll move into our things that, aid in ramping us a little more than just Prosper by himself. Starting off this list, we have Noxious Gearhulk, Murderous Rider / Swift End, Avacyn's Judgment, Curse of the Cabal, In Garruk's Wake, Murderous Compulsion, Good Ol' Phthisis, Rift Bolt, Terminal Agony, Bituminous Blast, Demon Bolt, Poison the Cup, and Sudden Edict. Many of these cards also further our ability to do things from exile, be it from Madness, be it from Foretelling, and in the case of a few of them, even Cascading. Let's move on to those ramp cards, shall we? We have the lovely and talented Dockside Extortionist, Forsworn Paladin, Ragavan, Nimble Pilferer, Scourge Familiar, one of my favorite, Stormkiln Artist, Zorn, and our only mana rock, maybe foolishly so, Soul Talisman. With all this ramp, we should be able to get to our removal, blow up our opponent's boards, swing in for damage with some of our larger creatures, and you combine that with a Passionate Archaeologist. For repeated damage every turn, it's a good way to close this game out. Let me know what you guys think about this deck. Any cards you think I should add? Some cards you think I'm overvaluing in here? And if you like this content, and you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video in particular. And until next time, guys, good luck with those builds.